Hi, Julie Torrance here. So I've got some 8.5 by 11 Amazon Basic watercolor paper. I'm still working on printables. Now I bought these on Whatnot. They run about $9. I got them for like $2 each. Crafter's Companion Duet ink pads. They're supposed to be similar to the Distress Oxides. However, which I've never tried, I still would like to try, but these were the only colors that I could grab. I want to make some background papers, so let's see what we can do with these. These two colors kind of go together. I've got some sprays. This is wax paper that I tacked down because I don't have like a glass mat or one of those kinds of things. Like I always tell you, use what you have. So here's the ink pad. They were tested, online. They showed us. So I'm going to give this a couple of presses here of this color. And this color is called Rosy Apple. And this color is called, it's sliding away from me, Sweet Clementine. Let's see what this does. I've got my water. I'm getting those little beads. And now I'm going to do this. All right, I can see. Hey, okay. For a background paper, I think this is kind of good. I saw some blue on the back, which makes me think it's from my hands. See, right there? Oh, well. All right, let's see. Okay, let's just set this aside for a second. And why did you move? I've got tape. Hang on. Let's just tape this corner down again. Good. Now, my understanding is you want this to kind of dry between layers, or else it really wants to, turn to mud. So, colors that will go with oranges, though. Orange and green are like total opposites. Same with purple. Well, I've got some other inks. And these are just regular inks, Frosted Sea Glass. It's kind of a green. It's very much a green. I'm going with the Vintage Merlot. Let's see what we get. And I'm just not going to put it right where I can see wet orange. See what happens. The paper that I did is pretty dry. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't mind that. Okay, good. Good. Pretty. All right, well, I don't care what the back looks like, so I'm going to just set it down that way. Let's get some sprays. Something that goes with that. Like, what's this? Bubblegum pink. This is going to be strong. I think what I'm going to do is try plopping it first. Yeah, that may be strong enough. Okay. Love it. And this one is called Peony Blush. Okay, got some good splashing going on. I'm going to grab another sheet right here. Give it one of these. Okay. Pick this up. Good. Pick this up. I'm going to set this where it can dry. And now I've got some water bubbles or paint bubbles that I want to pick up. Some of it's from the ink pad, some of it's from the spray. All right, we're getting there. That looks cool. All right. I'm thinking about what colors. Let's go with this purple again. And I'm not sensing or feeling the oxide-y kind of thing. It says that it turns chalky. I'm not getting that either. But let's see what this will do. I'm still wanting to get some of the real McCoy, the oxides. But I thought these would be fun to try. I never thought they would be the same. But somewhat similar, I figured. And for backgrounds, I do not mind it being a little more on the pale side. Okay, what have we got? I'm not nuts about it. It's okay, but let me try something. I've got my acrylic block. I'm going to stick some of that on here. I think these pads, they were brand new. They were not opened. You know what I mean? They still had the original plastic on them, but the seller opened them and then redid it online. Okay, so I'm going to take this, hit it with some spray, and now drop. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm going to do it again. Good. I'm liking it. Yep. That's good. Now, I'm going to grab a purple. This is crushed grape. Very strong. Liking it, liking it. Okay, now let's get some water and another sheet. As I said, this is the Amazon Basics watercolor. I think it's 140 pound. I like it. Good. Just gonna let this drip this way a little bit. Gonna hit it with a little spray, water. Yeah, good. I'd like a little more on the edges. I wonder if I can just pick some of these wet drops up. Yeah, I can. Okay. That filled up several of the edges. All right, I'm going to set this one to dry. And here's this one. And here's this one. Let's do this. You didn't know you wanted mixed media, did you? Okay. Okay. I like those little purple dots that happen there. I wonder if I give this a squirt on my, and then get bigger drops. I'm gonna just give it a little bit of water and see if I can get some on these edges. Okay, let's put this one on. Okay. And just a little bit of water. And one more time with this. Okay. Okay, good. This is good too. I'm gonna set this to dry. I'm bringing back this one. I think I want more water. And let's see what we can pick up. Get some like light and dark kind of spots. Good. All right. I'm gonna move this. Now this one. I want blue. I got green, but I don't think I want green. Yeah, I want blue. Hang on. Wait, I already pulled blue out. What's this one? Periwinkle. I'm going to give it a spray off to the side. Good. Give it some water. Yes, I'm happy we got a blue going. And here. Put the next one on top. Hey. Yes. More water there. More water here. But now I'm going to put it down the opposite. So what was top is bottom, and now what was bottom is now top. But I think I flipped it this way. So it's not the same. It's not laying the same. Now let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay. That edge. I don't mind it, but I don't love it. Let's just let that have some water. All right. This one. Go ahead and drip on our front. All right. These need to dry, all of them. And then I'll come back and show you what we got. Okay, they're dry and they flatten themselves out. I can't say that I'm nuts about them. However, I'm going to do a next step that I think will make them be what I'm looking for. So, we'll be right back. Now, these have dried. As a matter of fact, they've dried overnight, which isn't necessary, but I wanted them really dry. This one I like. I'm going to leave it alone. Now, these two, we'll come back to that one. I like this one as is. This one I'm going to work on. And then this one I'm going to work on. No, wait. I like this one. No, the other blue one. Yeah, I'm going to work on this one. The blue ones, it's hard for me to pick. I had to pick two. I'll tell you what I like. I love the splatters around the edges. I think when this gets folded, do you see how pretty that's going to look? So, that's why it's hard. Same thing here. We've got those splashes around the edge. So when we fold them in half for a journal, look at that. So I like these. I don't need two. So I have to pick out which one I like the best. Let's save this one as is. Like I said, I like them all. Change directions. I've got two of these, water. I've got my acrylic brushes, and then I've got Amazon Basics acrylic gesso. Your label's going to look different if you get the basics because this is old, but it's fine. It works great. I already gave it a shake. There's another shake. This is Liquitex Professional Gesso. This is more opaque and it has a real smooth finish. It's great, but this is why I have two. I use them for two completely different things. So here we go with the Amazon Basics because I want it more transparent. This is going to, move. The paints are gonna move a little bit because I'm making them wet and these are watercolors. That's what happens. Got a nice wide brush. I am gonna put it in the water and get it wet. I've got still my paper towels and I'm gonna give it a dry. I just don't want this product to simply sink in here. I want it on the paper. So that's going to help keep it from just plopping in. And we're going to give this a cover. It is a cool background, but yet it's not really a background. So that's why I want to change it out. I'm going to work from the middle out, just like this. And if it starts to get too smeary, or if the gesso, which you can see, it's still nice and white, letting it dry really good before I started this process is a big part of why this isn't moving. Drying takes longer than you think. It takes longer than I think. And when I'm going to put a product like this on top, then I really want it dry because I don't want it to just smear into a totally different picture. All right, I'm going to turn it. My poor arms can only reach so far right now. But this is knocking it back. As it dries, it will become even more transparent. But what little bit of movement that I'm getting, I'm not just completely changing the design, which was my goal. And the brush strokes, I've got kind of fanning out, which I like. Can you see the difference on why I did this? I bet you can. The edges are softening because I am using gesso on top. It's starting to really want to buckle up again. That's all right. They completely buckled up. Then they went straight all on their own. Well, kind of straight. I'll probably, after they dry, press them under a book or iron them. Probably press them under a book though. Okay. My gesso is changing color. It's getting a little pinkish. Anywhere that I'm seeing, I had a little hair, I'm seeing gesso standing up, you know, at like the grooves of the brush, I'm just knocking those down a little bit. Okay, now, isn't that a change? I am going to wet my brush or put it in the rinse water, set this out to dry. I'll get the other one though, hang on. Now you can see the difference. And I like them both. I do. I may not use both as journal papers, but I might. Now, here's the blue one. And that's why I wanted to get my brush, because it was picking up an awful lot of pink. And I don't want to introduce something new, although this has that pink in it as well. That magenta-y pink. Okay, brush is wet but rinsed. Give the gesso a shake. And we had pretty much the right amount before. All right, here we go. Now, because I've got colors on here that I didn't have on the first one, the colors may move different. You can have the exact same product, the exact same watercolor, you know, company. Like you're using Ranger, this, or whatever the company is. What was that, Crafter's Companion or something that I had? Different colors can still act differently just because you can think, well, the pink didn't move, so none of those sprays will move. Oh, no. Pigments act different. And it's not like poorly made. That is the whole thing about pigments. A little less different if what you're working with is dye-based. Pretty much whatever they put the vehicle to move dye around, that's going to kind of stay the same. I'm definitely getting more movement. I don't care. I like it. It's going good, but this is totally dry. And I feel like I'm out of gesso. So I'm just adding a little more. Let's go. Hey. Yeah, I know. It's low, but not that low. There we go. I will order more, and I think now it may come in a tube. I may save the jar in case I want to recant it. Never know, right? All right, let's go. Moving, that's fine. As I said, this one's definitely moving more than the first one. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, but you want to see what I'm going to do with these papers, you're going to need to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you'll be able to see the next time I post a video. I can't say the very next video is going to be with this paper, but it might be. I'm still going to be working on this project, which is to create some printables for journal making. But my goal is also that you see how I do it and you can do it yourself. I want art accessible. And if accessible means you run out and buy a printable, fine. Or if it's, I want to learn how to do it myself, good. Good. All right. This one is done for, I believe it's done, but let's bring up the other blue one and we'll see the difference. See? Much different. Yet, I haven't lost dots. I haven't lost like blossom. Here's blossoms. So yeah, I mean, I'm liking this really well. Okay, so the next step for me, this is wanting to stick. There we go. So the next step for me is going to be scanning these and printing them up to make myself a journal. So the other thing I'm going to do is the flowers that we made, print and cut those out. So if you found this helpful, if you found it entertaining, please consider liking, subscribe, and I'll see you on another video.